Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. And this time around, you may have noticed that we are now using a new microphone. Well, it's not really new. It is a microphone that I recently discovered that I had in my possession for over 10 years plus. So it's actually a condenser microphone. It looks like that. And you may have noticed that the audio quality is now way awesomer. There shouldn't be any more booms, there shouldn't be any more echoes, and our voices are pretty amazing. So, what's going on, Suen? Oh, before that, cue song.
Dreaming of chasing mice.
What's going on, Suen?
Your favorite line. What's going on, David?
Well, it's 2020. I know it's a few months into 2020. We are pretty much halfway through the year, right? It's been so far a pretty damn shitty year for most people. COVID-19 and everything else. I recently heard that in Australia, Perth and the western side of Australia is going to be hit by a massive storm. There's also another storm that it's happening in India and Bangladesh area, so it's terrible year for so many people.
Yeah.
Although our Chinese horoscope said what? It's going to be a good year, right?
Yeah, and it's supposed to be a good year. And also, 30 years ago, it was projected. We had the tagline for Malaysia, which was Vision 2020, flying cars, beautiful environment,
harmonious relationships between all ethnic groups,
people thriving,
wonderful economy.
Yeah, it didn't quite turn out that way.
Not at all. So, yeah, we keep saying it's now 2020, but also hindsight is always 2020.
Yeah, and I was also saying that maybe Vision 2020 actually means 2020 vision, because everything has taken such a unexpected shitty turn that we can look at things a bit clearer now and really see what's been going on instead of being on this automatic drive that everything's gonna be okay, let's just keep going.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Now it's almost like everything's on a pause. And now, look, guys, this is what's really going on. The economy, the environment, the people, our relationships. So, 2020 vision.
Okay, so now on that theme of hindsight, it's always 2020, right? Last week I shared about my own story, and I think it'll be fair this time around. We'll talk about the stories that you have to share, right? So maybe I'll start with this first question. Given that hindsight is 2020, what would you tell your younger self, who is, let's say, 10-year-old, 20 years back?
Before I talk about what I would tell my younger self, it's related, but I'm gonna say, by the way, we are in our bedroom, which is no longer a bedroom because we got rid of our bed.
We will give you guys a tour later on about, of our place right now without our beds. We got rid of 2 chairs as well. What else have we gotten rid? We are getting rid of other stuff that we have not been using for a very long time now. So, yeah.
So this whole move toward a more minimalist lifestyle, or more like just keeping the essentials, in Marie Kondo's word, what brings you joy. In this journey, I felt like, hey, actually to do this, we need to really know who we are and what we like. Because how are you going to say, oh, I want to keep this because it brings me joy, if we don't really know ourselves? So what I would tell my younger self actually is keep trying, go the distance with whatever it is that seems to spark your interest. Because I think when I was younger, sometimes, especially when I engaged with more artistic activities, I was very good at copying art, drawing, that kind of thing. I really enjoyed that part, and also drama classes. But sometimes, I would take feedback to mean to stop doing something. So let's say my mom would say, hey, maybe you should take a break from drama classes or art classes to focus on your studies. And then I would take that as, oh, I should not pursue art or I should not pursue drama classes, although I really enjoyed them. And if I could tell my younger self, it would be like, hey, it's going to be hard. You have to juggle your art, your drama classes, and your studies.
But you always wanted to be an artist?
No, but I've always admired people who are really good in art, and I felt drawn to them, but I always kept a slight distance. Like I had a family friend who was very good in studies, but she was also, really passionate about art. And I was influenced to think that if you spend too much time on art, then you're not going to be so-called successful.
You won't be successful.
Yeah, you won't be successful. And so I would sort of keep that distance. So I think another thing I would tell my younger self is to not judge people or assume who I am going to be and what other people are going to be.
What do you mean by that?
I think there seemed to be a formula to being a happy, successful person.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had assumed that I can see, one look, I was really egoistic about this. Like, oh, one look, I know what kind of person that person's going to be. And I know what kind of person I'm going to be because I always talk to my dad and my parents and they have all the life experience, so I should listen to them. But I think what I would tell my younger self is like, hey man, don't judge people. Talk to them. If you're curious, you're drawn to them, just talk to them and find out more about them.
So your younger self, you were quite reserved, is it?
Oh, very reserved, especially in primary school. I wouldn't say more than a few words a day because we get, if you all listen to our other podcasts where we talk about best and worst teachers. In primary school, I went to this school where they'll cane you for every single thing, so including talking in class.
What shitty teachers you've got. Two advice you would give your younger self. The first one, be talk to people, don't judge them. And the second one is just do whatever you want to do with your life. Okay, so what were the times that you're most happier? That you're most happy?
I felt like I super looked forward to, I'm very blessed, but I really looked forward to studying overseas. I felt like, yes, this is my chance to be independent and all that. So when I studied in Melbourne, Australia, when I was there, I really enjoyed it because I could try everything. I know it's silly, but I always wanted to work in a cafe or restaurant. I didn't get to work in a cafe or restaurant, but I worked at a salad bar making salads. And I actually enjoyed serving the customers and making salad and stuff like that, which I never got to hear. Pretty sheltered life, yes. What else? Oh, I tried out volunteering at the community radio. Oh, that was one of the best times.
How do you get involved with that?
Was it through you? Yes, so it was through him. But it's also through my friend Jia, right? I knew her, who knows you, and then you know Izzy. Izzy is the...
I know him through Lutfi.
Yeah, Lutfi. That was really fun. I really enjoyed radio times. I remember, one memory that really sticks out to me was... usually I hate going for classes. I always skipped my university classes. I skipped my dance classes, my yoga classes. I always skip class 1. But then I signed up for the radio training and I didn't skip one day of it. And I remember on one day I was actually quite tired, and I had to walk through the cold and walk through the park and get to the radio station for training. And as walking, I was thinking about, I enjoy this. I'm happy, although I'm tired. I feel very at peace with who I am and why I'm doing this. I think that's one moment that I should really hang on to because I think that moment did tell me something about myself.
In a way, you are doing pretty much that, right, with this whole podcast thingy. You're now
Yeah.
a radio DJ.
Well, we only have 20 views, but whatever. At least we can say whatever we want and no one will judge. But yes, and I think it's been helpful. Like, actually, this is our second take because the first take I kind of broke down a little bit. So it helped me reflect because it's like forcing us to take the time to talk about stuff. And I didn't think that it would have made me upset. But knowing that now, I'm like, oh wow, that's like how that moment in Melbourne is so important. It's telling me something. The so-called bad memories are also important for me to reflect upon.
Okay, so let's think about the future, right? Assuming you're now 50 years old, what would you tell your current self?
I think my older self would tell me to take it day by day. And something I'm discovering today as well. To really be grateful and kind to whatever moment it is right now. Like, I think there's always that pressure to drive towards so-called success. But, when you're 50, you're closer to death and reality of life, probably would say, yeah, just do what you can in every single moment.
What do you think? I mean, you talk about success, right? What in your worldview, how do you conceive and understand success? How do you know that you're successful?
Not the conventional view of success, which is money, house, children, married, a car, whatever, right? I think my view of success, I don't like the word success.
So if it's not success, how would you describe then?
Yeah, I would think I would use the word fulfilling.
I like that. So because success is like so definite, right? It's like a full stop saying that, yes, you are successful, as opposed to, yes, at this time in your life, you were actually feeling fulfilled.
Yeah, and there's a nice feeling, because like sometimes when we feel sad, there's this sense of emptiness. So I like the word fulfilled because it's like, oh, I filled it up with the things I enjoy, the people I love, appreciation of the moments, appreciation of things I'm doing. Yeah.
So why do you think that society places so much emphasis on that word success?
Yeah, I mean, to drive the economy, but also there's the caveman brain, like what I recently read in a book was a doing mind. Right? We always want to do. We cannot sit still on it. But while it's good, yes, we can keep going but at the same time, your body still needs rest. I mean, your car needs rest, your computer needs rest. I used to say when my computer used to break down, it's a sign that I also should take a break from work. So if like equipment that has no emotions, no biological thing, they also need rest and break needs to be turned off.
Yeah, they get hot, right? They get so warm that they cannot function anymore.
Yeah, so why not us?
That has been very insightful. I mean, I think one of the takeaway points for me in this conversation with you is actually, how we define what success is. And perhaps a better word is not success, but it's actually fulfillment. Like, do you feel fulfilled? And I think at the very end of our life journey, right, that, when we are on our deathbeds, and also when the stories we read, it's always about that. Nobody asks, oh, did I make my $100? I mean, $1 million or what? It's always a question of, have I been a good person? And I think that is the question of fulfillment rather than success. Because how do you judge that you have been a good person as a indicator of success, right?
But to also be careful, what do you mean by good person?
Yeah, I mean, most people who are about to die would probably ask that kind of question.
Yeah, so it's again good also involves a lot of evaluation and preconceptions of what is good, because like maybe shaving our heads to some people is because we did it for a cause, but we had some objectors who said you don't look good as especially me as a woman, they were like, you don't look good shaved with a shaved head. So they may view what we're doing as not good person. So that's why I still fall back to the word fulfilled. Like, for example, my wardrobe now is less filled, but I feel fulfilled or like that sense of contentment when I can just pick up the thing that I like. And I know I'm not sort of ignoring the items that I may not like because they are going on sale or they're being donated to people who might use it. So that's why I still fall back to the word fulfilled, and especially relationships. You know, like I'm enjoying this time with you right now, and that gives me fulfillment. And that's being me as well, authentic and genuine. Yeah.
Well, there you have it, folks. It's quite a nice talk with my wife today. And if you have anything to share with us, leave a comment below. If you like this video, do also leave a like, hit that like button. And that's pretty much it. And subscribe. Till then, catch you guys next one.
Bye.
Bye.